Hello and welcome again. This is Third Eye Africa TV. The program is Democracy in Action. And the times are so fine for Nigeria. INEC has simply rolled out what they call the election timetable in Nigeria come 2027. In other words, by this time or before this time next year, we would have done with presidential national elections in the country. This is putting all politicians, all Nigerians on their toes. It's no longer on your mark, get ready, go. In fact, the trend has just started. My name is Ben Adam Shaman, and like I said, we are on Third Eye Africa TV, and we want to look at very many issues there, but limited to three. One, opposition is now saying they don't reckon with the Electoral Act as passed just of recent. And that is what is to be used. And that's also the instrument that has given INEC the legal backing to announce the timetable. Now, the opposition leaders are picking a bone, or they've seen some problems. They insist election results must be transmitted real time and electronically. What about situations where there is no network? Should the elections of those people not be recognized by providing other means? Opposition is saying no. Well, APC is saying it's okay. President Tinubu has signed that act into law and that bill into law. So, we'll look at this and more. My guest is not new here. I'm talking of Mr. Ezekiel Uzochukwu, a public analyst and international commentator. I want to thank you for coming to Third Eye Africa TV once again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, with having opposition now doing its job of opposing, they're saying that they want elections results so transferred electronically or transmitted electronically and real time. Now, what do you, and for that reason, they've rejected the act as signed by the president and are calling on the National Assembly to go to the drawing board and ensure there is another. What are your takes on this?
Well, I will say that from what I understand, the elections can be transmitted real time online. And why do I say so? As a young man was making some analysis a few days ago, and he was giving us the number of Nigerians that have bank accounts. And he was saying that we have about 100 and he said we have about 170 or 180 people that have bank accounts. And it's electronically transmitted. And these things are working. And he said again that in Nigeria, about close to 80-something% of Nigerians are covered by internet. And these are people that do businesses, they transact with their banks. Once you pay, you get alert instantly. And if you don't get alert, you say something is wrong. If that can be done by banks, why can't we replicate that in elections? That is my problem. If that can be done by banks, why can't we replicate that in elections? You see, the problem I have with our leaders is that when we see the right way to go, we begin to go the other way so that it will be a little bit difficult. What is difficult about transmitting election real time online? Real time. What is it? And they are not saying that everything has to be electronic. They are saying that when we vote, because voting is manual, I have not heard the opposition say, let the voting be manual, I mean be electronic. They say voting should be manual as it has always been. After casting your vote, we count it there. When we count it there and everybody will see, and this is what the number, the vote cast is, the total. You upload it there. That's all. Why can't this be done? And when you upload it there, even if there is no internet or network or whatever at that point, once you get to where network is, it will be transmitted. Simple. So you can trace everything. After all, why did you involve ourselves with the beavers? Billions spent. Trillions. In order to get these things done. And then we want to return back to handwriting by hand. You see, when you want to deal with Nigerians, don't give them an opportunity to find excuse. That opportunity to find excuse is what opposition is complaining about. When there is no network, or if there is no network, where there is no network, why do you configure failure in your business?
But shouldn't there be a plan B?
What is plan B that you're talking about? They told us that the beavers don't even need network as much as we are talking about. Every beaver is internally configured to operate well. Every beaver, whether you are using this thing in the remotest part of Nigeria, all you need to do is to charge it. And let me tell you, Ben, I have gone to elections where individuals provide generator. Look, Nigerians are trying. Nigerians are doing their best to make sure that there will be no excuses, so that the leaders will lead well. But the leaders are making things difficult for the people they are leading. Now, I've been in an election where generators are provided. You charge the thing, and once it is charged, it's okay. What they are saying, let the results that everybody have seen, the votes that have recounted, and this is what is supposed to be, let it be uploaded there, leave it there. Once we get to where there is network, since we have configured that there will be no network in some place, then you will see. And what is annoying me is that some senators that have been senators for almost 20 years are the ones saying that their villages don't have network. What are you doing that your village doesn't have network? And you have been a senator collecting allowances, collecting project money, collecting everything, eating it. That would have been enough to give your village internet. And you didn't do it, only to come and give us excuse of your failure. What a blatant display of I don't want to be, because I am annoyed.
Yes. No, yes, you have a right to be annoyed, bearing in mind that, yes, these are people who are handling the destiny of Nigeria in their own hands. But like you said, now that many areas, let me confess that in my own village, you certainly find, in a whole district, you find out that some areas do not have network. Truly. Now, are we saying that in those areas, therefore, their results should not count?
Ben, you should understand this thing. Nobody is saying the results will not count. What we are saying is based on the description they have given us. It's based on what they have told us about these beavers. Remember, before they began to plan how to fail, when they brought out these beavers, they showed us how it would work. They told us that there is no problem with the beavers. They told us that the beavers are internally configured to operate efficiently. And we believed them. Is that your village that does not have light, or does not have network, or whatever? what they are going to use, is it not the beavers we're talking about? Why don't they leave this and give it a trial? When we vote, the votes will be counted. After counting, you upload it directly into the beavers. When you upload it directly into the beavers, then you transmit it to the center that everybody will see.
Yes.
Then you take it. See, that your village is not where the results will be announced. That thing that is in the beavers will be taken to where it will be shown to us. That's what we are talking about. That is what we are talking about. And that is what they told us, that this is the way it will operate.
Yes. Now, Mr. Ezekiel, you see, what we are getting to know from INEC, when you have beavers, this by model voters accreditation system, you go there, by model implies they have to look at your fingerprints. That is one aspect. Then the second one is the face. So they have to tally for you to be able to even vote. But after voting, therefore, there's the RF, the Independent Result Viewers Viewing Portal. When these results are transmitted, you can now sit even at home, look at the website being given by INEC. You now see the way the results are entering. Now, the stand of people of INEC, as the law has provided, is that, look, okay, you have voted. Now we're talking about uploading. We can't upload for it to reach the RF, the viewers system. Now, therefore, if it can't happen there, can't we have something physical and also show as evidence? If the electronical system fails entirely, so what happens to a village like me? We forget them?
Ben, maybe we record this in on paper.
Yes.
Before we upload it. The paper is a record.
And that's the other option.
This paper that is a record is there. And we are not arguing and we are not quarreling with that paper. Once it is counted and recorded, the paper is kept as a cross-checking mechanism.
Now, opposition says, okay, just transmit electronically, that is all. But the other party is saying, yes, when you try electronically and it's failing, where is that physical hard copy? Can't we fall back on it?
I don't think the opposition is saying that when you record on that paper, you tear it. They have not said so. The opposition have not said that when you record the outcome of the votes, the total and whatever as it is shown on the paper, that you should tear the paper. In fact, the paper should be an evidence. It should be something that should be used to cross-check whether what is transmitted electronically is right or wrong. That is what we are saying. And it should be. There is no how you don't keep hard copy. You just know how. That paper should be a hard copy. And then the electronic transmission shows us what happened there at the voting center. And then we can now cross-check with what is on that paper. If it does not agree, we will query it.
After all, if you also look at it, all the party agents,
we sign.
Security agents,
they will all sign.
And everyone will have a copy.
Thank you. But this issue of, you see, when you are dealing with Nigerians, don't give them opportunity to manipulate. This leeway that they are providing for INEC, watch and see. If that leeway continues to be there, on the day of election, there will be no network. Anywhere.
But that's where electoral offenses will come in.
That is which
if there's connivance by service providers,
who will take time?
You have the DSS, you have the police.
Before you go into the nitty-gritty of all these things, the election would have been declared, the winner would have been declared. What will you do? The next thing you will hear is go to court. Opposition is saying we don't want that process. We want to do the right thing from the right moment. Don't give us the opportunity to begin to argue, this is this or that, and then when we now talk, you say, go to court.
Okay.
What will court do?
They'll do adjudication, but we'll come to that. But when we also look at it, Mr. Ezekiel, We're talking of a situation where the opposition is again clamoring and calling on the National Assembly to convene and reconsider this electoral act. And look at the time frame.
Let me tell you, I don't know. My problem with all these people you call opposition is that these are people that are disenchanted. Will you call somebody like Amechi opposition?
He's not in government, he's opposition.
Will you call somebody like Erufai opposition?
He's not in government, he's in opposition.
These are people that supported the worst government. Yes, these are people that supported the worst government. Okay, if Amechi has been appointed a minister, will he be in opposition? If Erufai has been appointed a minister, will he be in opposition? You see, I don't like what the elites are doing. When they fail to achieve their own interest, to achieve their own cause, they turn around to make it a national cause. They turn around to make it a national issue. And the masses will follow and begin to support. What kind of thing is that? What kind of thing is that? It's not everybody that is in this opposition that is real opposition. It's not all of them. Some are there because their aspirations were not met. In the party, they felt they would have achieved something. You have been a minister all along, and at the time you were not appointed, you turned to opposition. You now begin to teach us democracy, which you failed to teach us when you were performing badly. Now you have become a member of the opposition group. You now become a Democrat.
Now let's look at the National Assembly itself. Why was it that when they were needed seriously, because of time frame, Nigerians were shouting, look, we'll run short of time. They were on recess, they went on break. And so now a law has been brought, INEC has to tinker with the time frame. So let's look at the role of the National Assembly in this.
Yes, the issue is, does the National Assembly do the right thing at the right time? That is one thing that we must insist they do. They must do the right thing at the right time. You can do the right thing at the wrong time, or the wrong thing at the wrong time, or the wrong thing at the right time. It doesn't work. The kind of laxity I notice is annoying. It's annoying. These are people appointed to represent the people. They are supposed to be patriotic. Patriotism is an emotion of love directed by critical intelligence. It's an emotion of love directed by critical intelligence. And these people, that patriotism that we want them to exhibit should also lead them to telling us what is the right thing, doing the right thing, with patriotic interest. Now, what they are doing is as if they are there for themselves. Now, somebody is talking about something, whatever you see that person talking, you will notice that he is doing that thing and shifting it in the way it will favor him, not the nation. Is that what we should call representation? That's not representation. When you are supposed to address critical issues and you go on recess, what are you telling the people? You are telling us that our issues don't matter.
They are to come or reconvene under emergency.
Under emergency. Why should the National Assembly treat issues under emergency? They have all the time. They have all the time. They have all the time. So what are they doing? Are we paying our taxes to them? What kind of thing is that? The National Assembly should be seen as very, very patriotic, bearing the people's interest at heart, having the people's interest at heart. But the way I look at many of them is everything about what they are doing is I, myself, and me.
Alone.
Alone. I, myself, and me. There is nothing. How many of them can sleep? And the burden of this nation will, how many of them will sleep? And when they are sleeping and remember the state of Nigeria, they get worried. They get pained. Instead, that pain is when you lose an election. When you lose an election. So who are you representing? You are representing Nigeria, and Nigeria is going backwards. So what will you say you have achieved? And one thing I normally tell some of them, time is coming when somebody will say, we tell a child or a son or a child of a Nigerian leader, you are like your father, and it will be like a curse. Let everybody know that it will happen. When somebody will see the child of a leader, and you say you are like your father, and anybody that hears it will begin to suspect that, he's a bad son.
God forbid. Because
of the history the father has left behind. If today you see Awolowo's son, I say this is Awolowo's son, he's a pride. If today you see Zeke's son, I say this is Zeke's son, he's a pride. If you see Saduana's son, I say this is Saduana's son, it's a pride. But I will mention some of them. That when you say this is so and so person's son, everybody will say, God forbid. Tufiakwa. This is what is going to happen. They are leaving behind a history. They are leaving behind a track record or track records that when people see it, they say, are you saying that this kind of person presided over the affairs of a country? How did he get there? It is very unfortunate.
Now, so how did he get there? How did Nigerians get to this point where we're talking of questioning the fact that the president has signed a bill?
How did
Just a moment, because they are saying it took less than 48 hours for this bill to be passed into law, and suddenly the president assented. It's now an act. Therefore, they said even the speed in which the president signed is suspicious. How do you take this?
Let me tell you. When you look at the whole thing, it looks prepackaged. Yes, they say people voted. People voted. Some members of the National Assembly are saying what we voted is not what we saw. The result of what we voted should have been brought to the public. But what we are seeing being brought to the public is not what you listen to some of them on television. And they are saying, they are saying what we are seeing is, in fact, they're calling it, what word did they use? That's the word they use there. Is it that they are shortchanged, or, that this is not true. What the public is being given, what the public is being shown is not what they agreed. So when you look at the whole thing, it looks like pre-arranged, pre-packaged, pre-planned. Pre-planned. How can you sign a bill? I don't know if there is a record of such a thing in Nigeria before. Signing a bill in about 24 hours of being passed. So what time was taken to read through it?
But the act itself has always been there. It's only a portion that has been tinkered with.
Yes,
it won't take more than an hour for a president to read. He's already in tune with the act. The act has been there since 2022.
Knowing the kind of allegations that we have faced about the National Assembly, somebody would have said, I beg, let me read this thing again. In case something might have been smuggled in one corner or the other corner. In less than 48 hours, within 24 hours, the bill was signed. The question is that, what time was taken to read through it? Yes, it should have been, they should go through it again.
Don't forget, there are also special advisors political.
Did they
You
go
also
through?
have-
Did they go through it within that period? If they went through it within that period, is there no time to be left to think, to consider Nigerians? What about Nigerians who are saying no? What about demonstrations going on? Is it not? Are they not supposed to think about it? I say this thing people are saying that should be done. Should we leave a little time to think about it, to dialogue with the opposition, to dialogue with demonstrators?
Meanwhile,
To explain.
if you are looking for that time for dialogue, days are going by, and you're talking of a situation where you need some
It
160
is better
days.
to do the right thing. It is better to do the right thing.
And infringing on the constitution
What?
too.
The constitution, we made it. The constitution belongs to the people.
Yes, but see how cumbersome it is to tinker with many of those portions.
If you know that there is no time to think about it, and you refuse to configure that in your plan, then what you should do is to find a way to dialogue and get the appropriate thing that will represent the voices of the masses done.
So who do we blame here? National Assembly for not sitting and ensuring that we are running short of time?
Every blame,
and INEC is now coming with
every
this.
blame is on the National Assembly. The National Assembly we have, I don't see this National Assembly as people who carry the burden of Nigeria. I don't see them. Do you know what the word Senate means? Senate means elders with wisdom, elders with knowledge. I saw that Senate once written in the Bible, the Senate of Israel. I thought that we invented it. I didn't know that it has been all along. People, when you assemble people with wisdom together, what we have assembled, are they all people with wisdom? No, answer me. What we have assembled, are they all people with wisdom? That is the issue. People with wisdom won't do something that will bring pain to their nation. Leaders with wisdom won't do something that will bring pain to their nation. Okay, look at the last election. The last local government, this is the last local government election. I didn't have light in my area, and many people are complaining that there is no light.
I agree with you. We'll come to that when we go on break.
Okay.
But before we go on that break, let's look at a scenario like this. All these complaints, these myriads of problems we are enumerating here. Where do you situate INEC? INEC is just. They were waiting. They were hamstrung. They needed a law to be enacted.
Let me tell you.
And that must be signed by the president. And that has come. So, do we begin to blame INEC for all of this?
Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you. INEC has its own blame. National Assembly has its own blame. But the blame is more on the National Assembly. Because if they do the right thing at the right time, we won't have problem. Even if they are doing the right thing at the wrong time and they do it well enough to leave no doubt, we won't have this type of problem. We won't have this problem. But INEC, like you said, yes, INEC will interpret the law given to them to operate. And when they interpret the law given to them to operate, why is it always that they go for that side that has comma? They always go for it. Why don't they? You said electronic transmission where network fails. Why is it that they don't ensure that they transmit electronically? At least 90%, 99%, 95%. Why must network fail on that day? The last election that was held, if you check very well, the National Assembly election, network didn't fail. Network, it didn't fail. Everything worked well. They are waiting for on that presidential, this everything. Bam. Why should it be like that? Why shouldn't it that INEC be determined to do that which is the right thing at all the time? That leeway given to them, that window given to them to fail, they will avoid it. Why shouldn't they avoid it?
Well, but the new helmsman, the leader of INEC, is saying that he's in here for a change. He's in here to give credible and acceptable
Jega said that. Didn't Jega said that this one that left, Mahmoud said it. When we Nigerian leaders begin to translate what they say into actions.
But should we judge the present man who is just about how many months old to a professor who was there for virtually 10 years?
Nigerians have been so disappointed. So disappointed that they are not looking for the worst in any man. They don't trust our leaders again.
Trust deficit.
They don't. Trust deficit. You can't come here and be telling us, you will do this, you will do this, you will do this, and they will believe as they look at you. Your others failed. Are you the one that will not fail? We have been so maltreated. We have been so disappointed that everybody that comes carries a disappointment on his face. And that is the way Nigerians see every leader. Can't it change? And I ask this question, can't it change? It's supposed to change. It's supposed to change. And if it doesn't change, then we, the masses, insist that it must change.
Okay. We, the masses, will insist that it must change. We'll come to look at change soon after this break. And our guest has been Mr. Ezekiel Uzochukwu. He's a public analyst, a political commentator, a Nigerian of note. My name is Bernard Amshaman, and the program is Democracy in Action. And when we do come back, yes, we'll look at this change. We've seen elections in the Federal Capital Territory. Now, opposition saying no. Everything, as the name implies, opposition must oppose. But let's wait a minute. Did they participate so much, so well, and they were denied? We'll discuss many of these things and more when we do come back. Once again, the program is Democracy in Action.
Each week, one program. The most gripping crimes, the stories you won't forget. Crimes of the week on Third Eye Africa TV. We give you stories as it was reported. Stories from the Nigerian police, the NDLEA, NAPTIP, the EFCC, NAFDAC, and the ICPC. My name is Margaret Adewale. Watch Crimes of the Week only on Third Eye Africa TV every Sunday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Star Times Channel 146. Join us.
Yes, welcome back. And before we went on break, we were saying there has to be an assessment or reassessment of the conduct of elections, FCT, that took place just some few days ago. Apart from that, there were also elections in Rivers State the same day. That same day, there were also elections in Kano. Now, we could see that opposition at the point was crying foul. First of all, let's look at the elections that took place that weekend, especially in FCT, 6 area councils. Mr. Ezekiel Uzochukwu, how did it go?
I want to tell you that if the elections were credible and fair, there is no how only one party will win all the area councils. There are certain things you look at and you know it's impossible. Yes. And when you look at the party that won the elections in all the area councils, and you ask yourself, what wonders have they performed in Nigeria? You can now tell yourself, well, What are Nigerians saying about them? From there, you can know how and what happened to the elections. On that very day, first and foremost, many parts of Abuja did not have light. And I am telling you that that election is likely to be a testing ground for the one that is to come. We are talking here, we are discussing here about the leeway given to ENEC. They will always exploit that loophole. They will always exploit that loophole. Didn't you see it in the last election?
Okay, yes, there was no light, but one is yet to also see so much complaints that because there was no light, therefore results were never transmitted.
Is that supposed to be so? It's not supposed to be so. What they told us about the beavers, what record were put in the beavers? Did you see it?
Did you visit it, the website?
The issue is not, look, a lot of us are disappointed already. A lot of us are disappointed. Many of my friends that ask them, they say, what are we know what will happen. And that is what we should avoid for Nigerians. A situation where people will say, there is no need to go and vote because we know what will happen. And even if 100% of us vote, what will happen will happen. It's a very bad thing. When you have that state of affairs in a nation, it is terrible. What I'm telling you is that, and you can check everywhere, how will one party win everything? The one I say that they say they didn't win, and maybe the other one they say is a compromise or something like that. The man I heard that he had to come to APC.
Yes, but the question is, opposition, when they came out with a big bang, led by Rotimi Amechi, led by El Rufai, led by Atiku Abubakar, David Mark, quite a lot of them. And so when they came with that big bang, some people just, El Rufai said, no, we are sending Tinubu back to Lagos and all. So one would have thought that this FCT election, and even Rivers State or Kano State, would have been the test ground for opposition.
Let me tell you. You see, you can't reproduce what you are not.
Explain.
My people say that the snake will always have children that have long tails. I have told you before, and I'm saying it again, that the people that are leading this opposition, apart from one person, it's not going to make this opposition credible.
I'm sure some Nigerians, including me, will want to know that apart from
Do you
one
understand?
person. Who is that one person?
See, go everywhere and check. It's only P2B that have no bad record. Go and check. If he had any bad record, it would have been very terrible for him. The people that are leading this opposition, some of us will look at them and we get angry. The people that are leading this opposition, they are people that, because they are in the forefront, Nigerians will not take this opposition as serious.
So, do you think that Peter Obi's presence in the midst of those you say bad opposition leaders,
even Peter Obi's presence there is going to cause problem for him? Peter Obi should define himself. Peter Obi's presence in this opposition. Look, I've told you, I don't see how this mutant called ADC will transform Nigeria and take it to the enviable height we are expecting it to be. I am not against any of them. I'm not against APC. I'm not against ADC. I'm not against PDP. I'm not a politician. I say things as I see them. The people that are leading this opposition, these are people because they did not achieve or have their aspirations in APC. they come together. And they are now speaking, they are now teaching us democracy. They are now teaching us, oh my God, it's very annoying. Peter Obi will go and write it somewhere. Peter Obi will not achieve his aspiration of becoming president in ADC. Because time will come when no one of them will give way for the other. Time will come. Go and write it down somewhere. Time will come when no one will give way to the other.
And INEC has simply said, look, start your campaigns officially 16th of August, or 19th of August.
Peter Obi.
Therefore, the primaries, the ways to primaries, candidates being elected.
In ADC, Atiku wants to be president. In ADC, Amechi wants to be president. Go and write it somewhere. In the same ADC, Peter Obi wants to be president. And the good name you are hearing about ADC today is not that there is anything peculiarly good. There's anything so attractive about ADC. It is Peter Obi that is giving ADC the recognition that it has today. It is because of Peter Obi's presence. It happened when Peter Obi gave Labour Party the recognition they had. There were people nobody had ever heard about them before who won election in Labour Party to the Senate, who won election in Labour Party to the House of Representatives. Do you understand? OT is there today. The OT of Abia State is there today because of the popularity of Peter Obi. Now, what happened to those people from Labour Party who won elections? Where are they today?
They've gone to APC.
They have gone to APC. They have gone to APC. It is very shocking. It is very shocking that Nigerians will build you up and present you and say, go there and speak and give us voices that will be different from the voices that will be hearing that have been dragging us behind. You now go there and melt into them and go there and join them and become the same thing with them. Is it not demoralizing? Do you think that Nigerians will take Labour Party serious the way it took Labour Party before? The party is gone. Now Peter Obi as a person should define what he wants. If he wants Nigeria to support him, there must be a way he should. Nigerians will not support somebody they know that they will not benefit. They will not benefit what they want Nigeria to be from that person. In ADC, I don't see Peter Obi achieving his aspiration of becoming a president from ADC. Excuse me. This is the issue. This is the issue.
So, do you think, let me ask this, do you think that the cost is clear for APC?
APC, the only thing that will happen, the only good thing that will happen to APC is that all the people in APC has everything you think about. They have religious extremists in it. They have religious fundamentalists. They have non-democrats. They have whatever in that place coming to lead us. What will happen is that they know themselves. Let them come out openly and repent to Nigerians and say, we know that we offended you. We know that when we were serving under Buhari, Nigerians were killed and we were there and we said nothing. We know that we wasted Nigerian youths who were crying out for Nigeria to be better. We know that we supported fascism in Nigeria. We are sorry. Forgive us. We have turned a new heart. We are going to do better. We are going to serve Nigeria with all our heart. We are going to be truly patriotic. And we're going to give in ourselves. We're going to bring out ourselves to make this Nigeria better. If they do it, everybody will support them.
So, for opposition like PDP, and with someone, I once saw a cartoon, Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, holding two flags, APC, PDP. And of course, he ensured that APC also won so much in FCT here. And so, what do you say of people who tend to play this kind of role?
Yes,
it's neither here nor there.
Yes, Wike is doing what he was hired to do. Yes, Wike is doing it very well. Tinubu knows him very well. He spotted him out and believed in his loyalty, and he has not failed Tinubu. And I don't think he will fail Tinubu. He is doing well for APC, the ruling party. But what do you expect? If you are the ruling party, you will make conditions better for the opposition to thrive? No. The opposition themselves have to stand. The opposition themselves have to show that they are willing to play the role of opposition, to play the role of credible opposition. The opposition is not supposed to be so fragile as we are seeing them. The opposition has not done well. The opposition has betrayed Nigerians. As an opposition party way back then, when APC was an opposition party, you saw what is called opposition. When they wanted to unseat Jonathan, you saw opposition at play.
The same people who oppose him.
The same people. When they played opposition, you saw what is called opposition. Opposition doesn't make the ruling party's affairs very easy. No. And that is why democracy is very good. There is opposition. Without opposition, there will be total chaos. Opposition is supposed to work efficiently to checkmate the executive, the ruling party. But what do we see? Because politics in Nigeria is politics without principle, opposition has sold themselves out. Everybody is decamping into APC today. Of course, somebody has said that once you become a member of APC, your sins are forgiven.
That's Oshimole, former
APC now washes the sin. APC washes the sin of its corrupt members with the blood of Nigerians. Yes. APC has now become a party that washes the sins of Nigerians with the sins of its supporters, its hench members, with the blood of Nigeria. The moment you become an APC member, your sins are forgiven. How can somebody say that type of thing in a nation that is serious? And it is happening. We are seeing it happening. The moment you are doing what they like, you don't have problem. But when you sing a tune that is different from what they want, man is not a mechanical box, wound up by the creator to play a fixed number of prescribed tunes. It's a human harp with infinite possibilities of unawakened music.
Yes. Now, do you have some fears as we move towards 2027 elections? Fears of, voter turnout, voter apathy. Look at Kano, so, this was the number of those who are qualified to vote, but see those who came to vote. Same thing with Rivers State, the by-elections there. Then you came into FCT here. Those who came out to vote, the number is so abysmal. Why is it so? Are Nigerians tired of democracy?
Let me tell you, Nigerians are not tired of democracy. Nigerians are not tired of good leadership because they have not seen any. What Nigerians are tired is frustrating them. Deliberately frustrating Nigerians in a way that what they expect Nigerians to be is not being realized. In spite of their efforts, in spite of their sacrifices, Nigerians are sacrificing a lot. Nigerians are giving a lot. Nigerians are given a lot. Why must you sacrifice the best you have in order for the progress of knaves? Look, let me tell you, Nigerians are not tired. What Nigerians know, and they believe that it will happen, is that there will be a lot of ways and means to frustrate democracy. They know that many Nigerians are going to be deliberately disenfranchised. Deliberately. The last election I voted, but I almost drove for about 30 minutes or more looking for where my name will be. There's nowhere it's pasted. It's not even pasted. Until I insisted, I said, I must see that list. I must see that list. I know that I'm qualified. I have my card. They began to search and saw where my name was. How many people have the guts to? How many people can go to that extent?
And the patience.
And be patient. How many people will go to that extent to make sure that the people that want to rig this election and rig themselves in know. They know. These are masters. These are people who have rigged the election for decades, and they know what it takes to do it. Nigerians believe that this election, this 2027 election, is going to be rigged. They believe that leeway given to INEC will be exploited.
Mr. Ezekiel Uzochukwu, a commentator, a Nigerian, an analyst of international reputation. Want to thank you for coming to Third Eye Africa TV.
Thank you very much.
And like we always say, proudly Nigeria.
Proudly Nigeria.
Thank you very much for coming to Third Eye Africa TV. See more of you.
Thank you.
My name is Bernard Amshaman. Till we meet again, keep watching Third Eye Africa TV. Bye for now.
Thank you.